Welcome to the next lesson on fractions. Our first lesson looked at fractions with addition. Today we're going to do subtraction. Just a little review about fractions. They are the whole, also known as the unit, broken into parts. We identify fractions by the number of parts that are in the whole. We call that part of the fraction the denominator. Nomina comes from a Latin word meaning name. So the name of the fraction comes from the number of equal pieces in the fraction. In this case, there are 2 equal pieces. 2 is the denominator. Above this fraction line, we have another number. This number is called the numerator. Numerator comes from the word numer, which means number. It tells us how many of these fraction pieces we're going to be dealing with. Our work has been with fractions with like denominators. That means our operations of addition and subtraction are using the same fraction family. The denominator is alike. This was our work in addition. When we added fractions, we take the 2 parts and we put them together. Subtraction is the opposite. We're going to take a large piece and split it into 2 smaller pieces. Let's begin with our pizza pie. You'll remember last week I had a little pie that I brought to the lesson, and it was cut into 4 pieces. So the denominator tells me how many pieces the whole was cut into, and I have all 4 of them here. I'm going to start with all this large quantity, and now I'm going to break it into parts. I remember last week we talked about eating the pizza, and I ate a part, you ate a part, and I ate 2 parts. We have now broken the pizza. The pieces of the pizza have been separated. We might ask, how many pieces were left? 1/4 of the pizza was left. I can show it this way. I started with 4/4. I then separated or took away 3/4. My answer is the difference between what I started with and what I took away. This piece is the difference between the original pizza and how much was eaten. 1/4 is the difference. So this equation reads like this. 4/4 take away or subtract 3/4 equals 1/4. I can make a picture to show my work. Here I'm drawing the large quantity that I started with. It is the whole divided into 4 parts. And all 4 parts are there. My denominator is 4, and my numerator is 4. I removed some of those pieces. This arrow shows that 3 of those pieces were removed, were separated from the original quantity. We show that with a subtraction sign. And there are 3/4 that were removed. What did that leave me with? What was the difference between those two amounts? 1/4. When you do this work, the original quantity is gone. 4/4 has been taken away and separated into 2 smaller quantities, 3/4 and 1/4. On our paper, we show this happening with an arrow. We can also use color to show this. I'm going to take orange to indicate the 3 pieces that were separated from the original whole, and those pieces are here. The difference I'm going to show in this color. And that difference becomes our answer. Let's look at another example. This time, we're going to talk about the days of the week. You'll recall that as a fraction with 7 as its denominator. And 1 week has 7 parts. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And all of those parts are there now. So here is the question I'd like us to consider. How many days of the week have we worked so far? Well, the work days in the week are not 7. We take 2 days off for the weekend. So these 5/7, this fraction represents our work days during the week. When I woke up this morning, 2 days had already gone by. Monday and Tuesday were finished. And that left me with how many days left to work? What was the difference between the 5 that I started with and the 2 that I took away? The difference was 3. Including today, I have 3 more days of work. 5/7 subtract or take away 2/7 equals or is the same as 3/7. I can draw a picture. Here are the 7s that represent the days in the work week. I'm going to take away 2 of these days. I showed that with an arrow and also with color in this previous example. I want to show you, you can also show that by Xing out the pieces that are removed. You can show them here. And what's our difference? If we had 5/7 and took away 2 of the 7s, 3 of the 7ths are still left. 5/7 can be broken up into 2 smaller amounts, 2/7 and 3/7. You may repeat this work and keep a record of your work, recording the problems that you work onto a piece of graph paper. When you've done a lot of problems, you might have been able to discover the number pattern for the operation of subtraction with like denominators. That will be our next lesson when you return for algebra. Thank you.